elaborate on that, in the sense that when Cara was going through her teenage years and her school years, we were always forward thinking about what she would like to do once school was finished, where she would want to live, how we would want to see her live the most typical life of a teenager in her community. And so we went down the track of having really like a circle of support, where we did a bit of, mapping out of Cara's life, futures planning stuff. And we included her in everything. And while Cara's got very complex communication skills, while we all shared ideas, people in the family, people in the group shared ideas, we made sure that she was involved in every step of the way. And to confirm that she was understanding what was going on after the meetings and after our circles of support meetings, I would sit down with Cara and have a conversation and say, did you like this? Did you like that? Break it down even more simply for her. And it gave her a sense of control and a sense of involvement and inclusion in the things that we were looking to help her achieve in her life. It was, especially when Cara moved into her own home, we set up, I suppose, scenarios or things for her to do where she had to make decisions. One of the things was, like, we would take her to IKEA and say, like, you need dishes for your house. What would you like to buy? And she chose them. Now, whether I liked them or not, it was her choice. And so we let her know that she was the boss of her own home, that she was the one that was going to make these choices. So it was all very much geared around making sure that the choices were simple enough for Cara to understand and make at that point in time, and that we honoured her decisions. We had to make sure that her choices were definitely key in everything that we did when it came to Cara moving into her own home. And it made her feel much more relaxed. Cara tends to be quite socially anxious, and so when she's feeling in control because she's able to make decisions, her anxieties are definitely sort of reduced. Supported decision making is something that you can start at a very young age. I know that now there's policy with NDIA around it, and there's also, talk of people being able to get some funding to help with support in the supported decision making areas of a person's journey throughout their life. And it is something that we've done naturally with Cara. But we also were very fortunate to have a couple of situations where one was that Cara was involved in a project called iChoice, where we had a speech therapist who received a grant, who helped us to understand that the way we were communicating with Cara was more like interviewing her life rather than giving her the space to make decisions, and space to speak and have her voice heard. And then we did a 2-year supported decision making with the WASTE project called, I think it was called the Decision Makers Project. That was life-changing for Cara, because Cara actually then, I'd say this was maybe about 3 years ago that started, so she's a fair bit older, but it really gave her the understanding that her voice had power, and that we listened to her, and everything that she was saying, asking. If she said no, we basically said, okay, if you don't want to go somewhere, that's fine. Then she would understand the consequences of her choices, because sometimes she'd say, where's my photo? When she decided not to go somewhere with the family, and we'd say, well, you said you didn't want to come. So, but I wish that for Cara that we'd had more structured supported decision-making stuff in her early years, because I think it brings that sense of autonomy and power that a lot of people, I think, with disability, with communication issues, feel very disempowered by. Well, like, for any parents out there who are just beginning this journey, or you're just coming towards the end of school and you're wondering what's going to happen into the future, I think it's involve your teenager or your young person in every way that you can. Even down to things like, maybe they want to roll, to cast their vote in the referendum, or to cast a vote just for their local MP. all these things that we take for granted, I think that it's really good to list them all down, all the choices that you made as a teenager, and try to put yourself back in that space of what's pertinent for that age group. I mean, Cara is different now than she was when she left school. And, you know, like her choices are definitely much more emphatic now. She knows how to say yes and no. She knows what she likes and doesn't like, and she's not afraid to voice her opinion. So the earlier you can do it, the better, and encourage that kind of communication with you and your families, with the support teams, with the schools, with the colleges, in whichever pathway your child's got mapped out for the future. So yeah, good luck with everything, and I think that it's a great journey. It's a long one and it takes patience, but it can be done. And my daughter's living proof of that. She lives in her own home with a great team of people supporting her, and we are constantly doing supported decision-making communication pathways for her, which is making her life much easier.